Hi, welcome to my video on the GoPro Freeway. Now when you order the Freeway and get the Freeway, it comes in this box with a picture of the Freeway on the front and this little mini tripod that you get with the Freeway, but I'll come across and explain about that later on in the video. But I'll quickly go around the box. Now on the front you have a picture of the Freeway along with a mini tripod. On the sides it's just basically blue, and on the back here we have a line diagram how the Freeway can be set up. I paid for this GoPro Freeway on Amazon UK for $39.99. This is how the Freeway looks. It has two plastic arms, as you can see, and a handle which is made out of silicone, rubber and plastic. The whole construction of the Freeway is out of plastic. So I'll start with the top, even though it has this kind of zigzag shape, but it does straighten out, and I'll start with the top. At the top here we get a GoPro mount here, or GoPro fingers, and you also get this GoPro thumb screw. The first arm, as you can see, has the GoPro logo placed on there, and it comes down to a thumb screw or screw here to make the adjustment of this arm. So we have that at the bottom, and that arm collapses on top of the arm underneath, which is the second arm here, which is also made out of plastic, which it connects to the handle here. Connects to the handle here, folks, via this larger screw here. Now on the other side, on the opposite side, we have of the screw, we have this button here, which is your locking button when extending out, and also locks the actual arm here in any position like so it doesn't fall back. So that's what that button does on that side. And then we come down to the handle itself, and on the back of the handle we have the GoPro logo written here. We have this nice kind of ribbing grip here, and the handle is constructed out of plastic with this silicone rubber placed on top, which is a good quality silicone rubber. Now on the very bottom here, as you can see, and it's very hard, folks, to get it in, but there is a hole for a lanyard, which you do not get with GoPro whatsoever, which I think is a bit odd, because you get the thumb screw but no lanyard. And on the very bottom we have this kind of screw here, which you turn it, which reveals a mini tripod. This is how the GoPro Freeway looks when it's fully extended. It states that the actual entire length of the GoPro Freeway is 20 inches when fully extended. But as you know, in my videos, I don't go by the actual total length. I go by what the actual extended length comes out by the stem. Now, the GoPro Freeway doesn't use a kind of stem design. It has, as I stated before, these two arms, so I'm just going to go by that. So we do not count the length of the handle. We're just going to count from the top of the handle and to the top of the mount, because there's not much of a mount on there with these GoPro fingers, and from the at the bottom of the handle, or to the first point here, screw point or joint here, to the top, it is 13 inches this extends out to. When it comes to the wobble test, there's practically, because of the short distance between the camera and the top of the arm, there's literally no wobble in this whatsoever, even though the arms are made of plastic. But I can reassure you that the bottom section plastic here is more like an actual tube, well, square tube, if you can, is such a thing like that. It's a square tube then more than a hollow plastic here which accommodates this arm, but there is no wobble in this whatsoever. But please bear in mind that you have to tighten the joints here and here, because if they're not tightened, or you think that they are tightened, they will loose due to vibration. So be aware of that. Collapse length of the freeway, excluding the camera, from the top of the mount to the bottom of the first arm, because the first arm sticks out about ½ an inch more than the actual handle. Its collapse length is 7.5 inches, and the actual weight of the freeway, with excluding the camera, is 300.5 grams. The diameter of the handle of the freeway is just under 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to show you the different mounting styles, or some of the mounting styles that you can do with the freeway, because there is quite a few mounting styles that you can do. The first one is, if you remove this large screw here, top next to where the main screw would go, you can see there is a nut, concealed nut there, or screw thread with inside the actual body of the handle. Now, simply by screwing the thumb screw into the top where I showed you before with that nut there, you now have a floaty handle. Now, if you're going to use this as a floaty handle, I suggest that you remove the tripod legs off the end cap here, rescrew the end cap back on to give this more of air inside there, to give it more buoyancy. I'll be using this around a pool, it'd be great for that, but personally for the sea, if you're going to be out on a boat or whatever, do get the lanyard for this, because its buoyancy is kind of on the max side. And depending which GoPro you have, like I've got the GoPro here on 9, which is quite a heavy little camera, it most likely will sink. This next position, you can have it as so, where you have the handle basically at a 90 degrees to the middle arm, and the end arm at 90 degrees. Another position that you could have this in, where the handle is straight along with the middle arm, and have the end arm at 90 degrees position. To use the tripod legs on the GoPro Freeway, we simply look at the end piece, and this large screw here, we simply unscrew it all the way out, which will reveal the tripod legs. The top end, we simply place it back into where we took the tripod legs out, and just simply screw. And now we've got the tripod legs for the freeway. I have to say that it has a very, very narrow footprint on this. So for me, if you're going to use this outside, I suggest I would not take it any further than probably the second arm, especially if there's a little bit of a breeze. If there's no breeze, then probably you can have it fully extended. That's how it looks when it's fully extended. And I have to say, for me, the biggest letdown with the freeway has to be these legs. Place the GoPro Freeway on the floor to show you this other way of, or mounting of the GoPro Freeway on its tripod legs. Now with this, the reason why they show you on the back of the box for this kind of position is, normally with a traditional selfie stick tripod, it's basically tubes upon tubes, and you can simply either unscrew the locking system between each section to raise it up or down to get the height that you want. But with the GoPro Freeway, you don't have that, because it's just basically two arms. So by having it in this position, you can simply raise that way, so you get this kind of zigzag shape here, and that what gives you your height for your camera on this. Now when you're doing this, be aware that you have to place your hands on the tripod legs and loosen the screw here, Not so much this one, but this screw, this one has to be just slightly loosened, but this has to be loose to get the position that you want. And you can simply adjust the height of your camera that you need. So now if you don't want to use the handle nor the arms of the three-way, you can just simply attach your camera to the tripod legs. And to do that, you simply remove this screw top here. Now to remove the screw top, you simply have to pull it apart like so, and that screw top or that large screw comes off, and it reveals a GoPro finger mount with a concealed screw thread on that side. This is how it looks when you just simply put your action camera or GoPro just attached to the tripod legs. And when it's this low, it is more sturdy, so I give it that. So if you're going to take shots, say on a brick wall or on a wall or something flat and high, I suggest bringing it down to this, to the tripod legs. Now this is the part of the video where I do my 2p worth on the GoPro Freeway. And I'm going to start off with the negatives about this first. And the first negative has to be with this, which is to me one of the biggest negatives, has to be the price. This thing is £40, a penny less than £40. And I think that's quite a lot. Now, considering that they're coming out with the Mark II version of this, which seems to be a better, but going off by eBay at the present time, that's going to be at £65. Another negative of this is that they should have made at least the construction of these arms out of metal or aluminium rather than plastic, because even though it's a good quality plastic, once you drop this and damage the actual mounting system up here, that is it. This is technically, these arms become useless and you only can rely on the actual handle as a kind of floaty grip or grip. The negative about this has to be when you place the tripod legs on this and have this fully extended, you have to be aware where you place it, because if there's a slight wind or breeze, it will topple this thing completely over. This to me is more like for when it's got its tripod legs on, is more for indoor use if you're going to have it fully extended. And which I said and showed you in that kind of zigzag position. And now for the positives. Now the one great positive with the GoPro Freeway, which it's the only positive that I can see with this thing, is I like the use of the positions and what you can do with this Freeway. Even though there are other companies that make the Freeway obviously under a different name, but GoPro was the first that I can recall that has made this particular type of kind of selfie stick tripod. And I like the idea and thought that had gone into this, as you can use the tripod legs and how they integrate the tripod legs with inside the handle itself, how you can use it in certain positions, and you can also just use the handle by itself or use the actual mini tripod legs by itself and take off these arms off there. And that to me is the biggest positive with the Freeway. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. I perfectly understand my videos can be long, but I like to go into detail to save you the trouble of when you buy the product, you know what to expect. So that's why my videos are long. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.